With a little bit of gold in the pages. With a little bit of gold in the pages. With gold in the pages. With a little bit of gold in the pages. Gold, pages.
Cool kids.
With a little bit of gold in the pages.
Cool kids.
With a little bit of gold in the pages.
Yup.
With a little bit of gold, pages. With a little bit of gold in the page.
Hello everybody, this is Casey Bowles on the 5th episode of the Texas Meltdown. Today, we have a special guest. We got a hold of Kolton Moore, who called us from the depths of Arizona. But first, we are brought to you by Fat Jack's Oyster and Sports Bar. They got the best ribeye steak in town. They got the best gator bites you're going to eat. They also got the best oysters and angel on horsebacks you can possibly find anywhere this far north of the shore. Every Wednesday, they have D&M karaoke. On Thursday, January 10th, they'll have the Clay Logan Band. Friday, on the 11th, they'll have Free Fall. And on Saturday, January 12th, will be Brush Popper. Oh, I hear they're pretty good. I haven't heard much about them yet. We're also brought to you by the Knighton Center off of Kings Highway, right next to the Roadrunner. Go talk to Terry Knighton, FNP. He'll take care of all your family and acute medical needs. Good guy, real good friend of mine. And I hear he's adding another FNP so he can get to more patients. Give him a call at 903-838-0444. Pretty easy number to remember.
We're also brought to you by TW's Automotive over in the corner of New Boston Road and Texas Boulevard. Talk to Lee Welburn. He'll get you fixed up with all your automotive needs. You can reach them at 903-794-7593.
It's where I take all my stuff to. I'd highly advise going there. But here's Kolton Moore. We tried to do everything live, everything that we could. My microphone kind of had it was a pretty badass echo. But I'm fucking dealing with it, and I'm way madder than you could ever be. So I know you can deal with it too. But here's Kolton Moore, talking about his shows that he's got planned for 2019 and what he's been up to for the past 4 years. All right here on the Texas Meltdown. Today's artist of the week is actually here with us, and it is Kolton Moore. Kolton has been on a 4-year hiatus from singing or anything to do with music, really. I mean, you've had like, what, one or two shows?
Yeah, I've done one show in the past 4 years. It was this summer. I did a show in July there in Stephenville with Co Wetzel, and that's about all I've done the past 4 years. I released an EP, I guess it was 2 years ago. Those are some songs that I recorded back in 2013, though, and then I released a single, I guess, about a year ago now, maybe less than a year ago. But those are all songs that I recorded. They were just kind of sitting in my emails, and I ran across them and put those out, and they've done really well for me the past couple of years.
The old music for like Godman Blues, like how did you come up with those lyrics?
Godman Blues, I don't know, man. Growing up, my dad was a preacher, and it really doesn't have anything to do with him, but I grew up in church and everything, and just kind of just the way I was brought up, being around a lot of those people in church. That's where that song came from. It was kind of just, I made it up. I wrote it when I was probably 18 years old, maybe 19, and just kind of made it up. I like to play blues and wanted to come up with a bluesy song, and that's what I came up with.
Yeah, I apologize for that being my first question. I just had to get that off my chest. Ever since I've heard that song, I was like, man, how the hell did he even come up with that?
Man, you started good. I don't know. I was still a kid when I did it, and it was really the first blues song that I ever wrote, and I enjoy playing it still, and I think it's a cool song. So
yeah,
glad you enjoy it.
It's definitely one of the most original songs I've ever heard in my entire life. That song should have been written like 10 years ago, at least.
Good deal.
But what have you been doing on your 4-year hiatus site? You work or what have you been up to?
Yeah, so the past 4 years have been full of a lot of hunting, a lot of fishing, and a lot of traveling, just traveling around, seeing different places across the United States. I worked for a couple different hunting outfits across the state of Texas, and then I guide fly fishing trips up in northern Arkansas. And, hunting and fishing was my first love before I ever even started playing guitar or writing music. And so I kind of reverted back to that. And that's what I do for work. I travel around the state, and I guide hunters on whitetail and mule deer and elk and aoudad and whatever else there is to offer. I do a lot of exotic stuff down in the hill country, so just get around, and that's my life these days.
So you pretty much just went from one badass job right on to the next badass job.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a dream job. Everybody's always saying how lucky I am, but still spend a lot of time on the road, just like I did playing music, but just traveling for different reasons now.
Yeah, I understand that. I've pipelined for 9 years. I've been on the road a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You understand that for sure.
You were pretty young when you started playing music, weren't you?
I was, yeah. I think I played, so I'm obviously from the Fort Worth area, so 95.9 The Ranch is the big radio station in those parts. And they put on a singer-songwriter competition. I guess they probably still do it, but that was like their second or third year to put it on. And I was 19. It was my first year out of high school that summer. People vote on you and all that, and I won that deal. And the prize was you got to open for a big band there in Fort Worth. So I got to open for Sean McConnell. And that was the first big show I'd ever played. And everything kind of spiraled from there. And I put a band together with a bunch of guys that I knew from high school. They were all a few years older than me. And put a band together, and we started touring. And we toured for right at 4 years. And, got to open a lot of shows for a lot of big bands that we looked up to. And then we ended up, starting to headline some shows. And it was really good. It was a good experience. I was a kid throughout the whole process, I feel like. But I think it grew me up pretty quick. And definitely, I don't regret any of that by any means.
Yeah, I watched some videos from. Are you talking about the band with Ryan?
Yeah, I had Ryan Wilcox playing guitar, Chip DeVilla played the bass, and Aaron Dowd played the drums.
Are they going to be back with the new shows that you got coming on?
Probably not. These first shows that I do this year, I'm probably going to do 3 or 4 shows, and they're going to be all acoustic. And then maybe towards the end of 2019, we might put together some full band shows. But, obviously Ryan's got his own band right now, and he's super busy with them. And then Chip and Aaron are doing, other things besides music these days. So just tough to get all those guys back together and get rehearsals done and get ready for some big shows. But we'll try to do it at the end of 2019. I'd love to get together and, play at least, 1 or 2 big shows with the full band.
Yeah, I was watching some videos on YouTube, and I always saw Ryan in the background, and you just look over at him for a second and just stare at whatever the hell he was doing off to the side with his guitar. It always just tripped me out.
Constantly wondering what the hell that guy's doing.
Yeah, he was acting
crazy. Still am these days. We still text and talk a lot, and I'm still just wondering what the hell he's doing.
Oh, yeah. Super nice guy. I met him in Lawton, Oklahoma. He opened for Co Wetzel up there one time, and I was backstage hanging out with everybody, and him and Josh Banks come up, his drummer. I talked to them forever, man. They were nice people. Wasn't anything what you would expect. Wasn't what you would expect from his whole guitar playing persona.
For sure. Yeah, when he's off stage, man, he's real calm, laid back, very chill guy. So he's night and day from when he's on stage to off stage, but still a good dude to join me.
So when you just put on Twitter you're going to be doing these shows, saw a bunch of people giving you recommendations on where to play. What do you think about Texarkana? Saw a few people posted Scotty's in Texarkana. It's a pretty dope place.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I've had a lot of recommendations, and I just wanted to see, obviously I know all the venues and stuff around, the good places that I like to play, but I just wanted to see where people wanted to hear me play at. So I think what I'm going to try to do is, maybe pick 1 or 2 places in Oklahoma, and then maybe 3 or 4 places in Texas, and just try to get as close to the big cities as I can. And, if people want to come, they'll travel. So that's kind of the way I'm going to go about it. I'm not going to play a whole lot of shows. But, I'm going to try to play a few, and hopefully everybody that wants to come can make it out. But Texarkana is definitely on the list. We'll just see where it takes us.
So you just testing the waters right now, or just have a little reunion? Or are you thinking if this goes well, you're going to start touring again?
I don't think I'm ever going to tour again, honestly. Not as serious as I was before, at least. But every year, I'd like we just talked about, for 4 years I didn't play but 1 show. And I think that was a little too long. I've got a lot of really, really good fans that, still treat us very good and are still spreading the word. And I feel like I'm just doing those people wrong, not playing shows. So I think if I can play, 4, 5, 6 shows every year, still get the ball rolling. People are still happy, get to come see us play, get to experience all that. And so I think that's what I'll stick to for the next couple of years. But you never know. We might get to where we're playing, 12 to 15 shows a year. So we'll just see where it goes.
You been writing any music in your off time?
Not a lot, because I don't have a lot of off time, but I have written a couple of songs. Yeah, in the past 4 years. Just a couple songs in 4 years is not that much for me, because when I was really touring hard and writing and playing a lot, I was writing, 20 to 30 songs a year. And but I was doing it full time. That was my job. I didn't have anything else taking up my time. And we were trying to make it. We were trying to, do as well as we could with it. But, yeah, I've written a couple of songs over the past few years, and there's some songs that I'm pretty proud of. And I can't wait to record them and release them. So I'm going to try to do that maybe in 2019, get in studio and maybe get the band together for those and record those songs so I can release them.
That's something to look forward to right there.
Yeah, for sure. I hope everybody's looking forward to it. I know I am. Like I said, I'm pretty proud of those songs, and they sum up life, the past few years, not being on the road playing music, just living a normal life per se, and having a regular job and having a girlfriend and spending time with family and stuff like that. So
I'd say you're guaranteed to sell out these acoustic shows, man.
Well, I sure hope so, man. I hope people want to come to these shows. I had a really good response there on Twitter when I posted that. And so it seems like a lot of people want to come out and see me play. So I hope they go well. The show we did back in July was really good. We played there in Stephenville, and we played to about 1,500 people. So it was just kind of overwhelming. When neither one of us, me or Co, really expected that on a Monday night during the summer in a college town. So it was pretty incredible.
Yeah, they told me about it. I seen them somewhere right after that, and I was talking to Colton Andreas, and they was telling me about how many people was there. It surprised the shit out of all y'all.
Yeah, it was a madhouse, but it was a really good time.
I bet it was. We're going to have to make it to one of them acoustic shows. I want to make it to one of the full band shows. Like, y'all, I'm going to be pissed if y'all don't have one of those by the end of the year now. I got my anticipation built up.
Yeah, well, we'll try to, man. That's one thing we always prided ourselves on was, the full band show and just the performance that we put on. And, of course, we were talking about Ryan and how crazy he is. But we always, all the bands that we looked up to, all four of us, we all looked up to really good bands that played live. But we just prided ourselves on sounding just as good on stage as we did on our CDs. And I think we accomplished that pretty good. And we always had really good responses at our shows and had really good time with it. So hopefully we'll get back to that and do a few of those shows this year.
On the new album, or like if you record the music, are you gonna release it in like a album or an EP or like a small little singles? Or
have you even thought about it?
Yeah, have you made it that far into the situation?
No, I really haven't. I mean, I kind of just fly off the seat of my pants with that stuff usually, so not much planning goes into it until it's right there in front of me. But it'll probably be an EP, 2, 3, 4 songs, something like that, and I'll put them together as a little collection and just release it like that and come up with a name for it, of course. But yeah, it'll probably be 3 or 4 songs. That's about what I've got that people haven't heard. And I don't think it'll be a full, 11 or 12 song album by any means. But you never know. Something might change. I might start writing a whole lot here in the next few months, and we might put, 8 or 10 songs on it. So we'll just see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm really looking for. I'm super duper ready for that.
Good. Hopefully we can put some more rock and roll songs there. And I know a lot of people lately have said everything I've put out's been sad, and they haven't complained about it, but those are just, a lot of songs I write are sad songs, so.
I like them though.
They don't.
They're upbeat sad songs. They're not sad songs that make you cry. They're like sad songs that are just like, yeah, I got that.
I think you got a pretty good ratio. I know people are going to be waiting for you to jump back on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You left everybody.
Everybody's already been asking, if I got anything nailed down. I'm like, shit, man, it's been like 3 or 4 days since I posted that. I don't have shit nailed down. So, But yeah, as soon as I know, I'll definitely get the word out, and we'll put together some flyers and whatnot, and start posting on Twitter and Facebook. And hopefully, like I said, we'll do 3 or 4 shows, or I will by myself. And I'm going to have Ryan open all those shows for me, so he'll be the supporting act on that. We'll both be acoustic, so that'll be a good little reunion for he and I to go out and play some shows together.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, no doubt. If we're going to come through that Texarkana area, maybe we can meet up and we'll all four get together, and me and Ryan can be on the show together. Hope it all went well, and look forward to meeting you guys.
I got holes in my shoes, don't got a lot of cash. Got a quarter in my pocket and afraid to whip your ass for something you got that ain't even mine. They say I've been looking skinny, I say it's the drugs. They think I'm only kidding, and I'll do this for love. But what they don't know is I spent the last week in hell. They think this life on the road is easy, but it ain't so well. I'll tell you a story about my life. I chose this road, I chose this life, staying out all night and raising hell. My mother told me, son, I never pay your bill. She said this ain't no way to live your life, boy, you're burning hell. Never seemed so cold. I think I'll just die here, I never grow old, 'cause I've seen my fair share of drugs in the night. I hope to God that no one asks me, 'cause I don't think I can fight. Now a whole lot of people, they got it made. You may not know me, but that ain't my case, 'cause I spend most of my life living out on my own. And now I don't give a care for no one, I provide for my own.
One of the wildest things that's ever happened to me while I was at work. It was 5:30 Friday evening, just got paid, everything's going good. This is when I was working for my dad's shop in Texarkana, and at his business. We were all standing in the parking lot, all the employees, everything. Literally, we just walked out the doors. Out of nowhere, this car came flying sideways on Richmond Road across the intersection of College Drive. Sideways this entire time. I mean, car had to be doing 80 miles an hour on a city
That was in
street.
your dad's shop. Was at the other location.
Yeah, first location.
That's never we were hanging out.
Yeah,
Way back.
Yeah. So, anyways, car came
I
flying
showed
in
him that place
sideways.
the other day, and I was like, "There used to be a shop right there. It's not there anymore." They
That's
tore
a
that
donut
bitch
shop
down.
now, yeah.
I was like, "Dude, there used to be a shop, old ass."
That was my
shop
dad's
right
very
there.
first shop. So, anyways, came flying through the intersection, 5 lanes wide, slid all the way from the far right lane into our parking lot, hit the curb, blew out both side tires. I mean, it went straight into the fence, hitting one car and hitting it so hard it shoved it into the next truck beside it. Dude immediately hits reverse. I mean, every window was knocked out of this car. We could tell because, I mean, even though it was coming flying by us, I mean, it was still slow enough sliding sideways that, like, we noticed that every window in this car
He had
was
already
literally
hit some
busted
shit.
out. No, well, I mean, I think somebody busted out because the car didn't have a dent on it at this point in time. It was maroon. I
probably
think
shot
a 07
out, knowing
Chevrolet
that side of
Impala.
town.
It was stolen from Kansas City, and
That's a
the
long way.
original car owner's insurance covered both vehicles getting hit in our fence at the shop, and I think there was a couple other damages we had done or whatever else from all that happening. But dude ended up throwing that car in reverse immediately after he hit the fence and just backing out of the parking lot. And he like ran down. I mean, cars smoking and everything else. It was dramatic as you could picture it out being. And they found the car or whatever like 2 miles down the road. I mean, he didn't make it very far. He bailed out and he ran. Never found the guy, but like I said, they found the car, luckily, and had stolen
If you had
tags
a
on it.
stolen
and
car
everything.
from Kansas and you did all that and was stupid enough to stay in that car, holy shit, how'd you make it all the way from Kansas City?
That's a very good point. But yeah, no, I mean, no harm, no foul. Nobody was hurt. It was all materialistic things, and everything got replaced. So,
What pisses you off at work? What's something a coworker can do that'll piss you off?
I kind of work with all families, so it's probably not a good thing to.
Nick.
I'd say somebody feeling like they're too good to do some job. Like if you got to pick up a shovel and shovel some shit, say I ain't touching that fucking shovel. That ain't my job. Yeah, it is. You get paid by the dude that told you to pick up that shovel and shovel that shit up.
The only time I'm not going to do it is if the person that is supposed to is just standing around. You know, like, because I run into that a lot of my work.
That's different.
It's like, they'll be like the boss's son, but he's lower than me. You know, he's the laborer, and he's not doing a damn thing. They're like, hey, man, we got to get this done. Will you grab that shovel? Fuck you. My key don't fit that shovel, bitch. Get your fucking stupid-ass son to go down there and fucking do it where he needs to start at anyway.
Yeah.
Why aren't we paying him to be a labor hand whenever he's just standing around? Even if it's not their son. It could be damn near just anybody.
People my age feel like they're too good for entry-level jobs. They feel like they go into it and they're entitled to way more than what they're worth.
Like whenever I was 19, I was in Shreveport working for a guy, one of my buddies. I ain't gonna say no names. I worked for him. He's not my buddy anymore, but I was working for him. And he had us walking through water with ice, and I was breaking ice with my fist. And motherfucker, we didn't wait to get waiters. We didn't have waiters. The company wasn't gonna buy us waiters. We got paid to break ice on our fist and fucking waste deep water. My dick didn't work for 3 days, but you know what? This motherfucker right here did shit like that. And we all did, to be honest. Like, I worked with a good group of guys back then. We all did that. But you go somewhere else, they're just like, well, I ain't getting muddy. Bitch, I don't expect you to break ice with your fucking knuckles like I had to and waist deep frozen water. But come the fuck on. If it's raining outside, and like I'm in a cab now. Woo! Motherfucker, I've worked in more rain than you could ever fucking imagine.
The job's got to be done at the end of the day.
Yes, who gives a fuck that it's raining? Bitch, fucking do it. No, I can't dig in the rain because you can't do dirt work in the rain. Duh. Yeah. I mean, fuck, you can't push mud with a dozer. You can't. You can't throw mud with a tractor. You can, but it's extremely sloppy and it's a bitch to dig in mud. But anyway, being a laborer, like there's something that's like handwork to be done. Do it. There's welders. You know, like, I hate welders. I hate them motherfuckers. Most of them. I have a lot of good welder friends.
I do
but
too.
They know that I'm not talking bad about them.
Yeah.
But they know who I'm talking bad about. The good ones understand. The good ones are like, yeah, man, fuck them guys.
Well, I
Like,
mean, everybody's dealt with dickheads before.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, it's more common to run into a dickhead welder than it is
Yeah,
in a lot of other places.
That's what I'm saying. But anyways, I've seen welders, like, if it's raining outside and they're wet, they're getting electrocuted. Hardcore electrocuted the whole time they're welding. And I've seen the older ones, you know what, the younger ones will try hard enough, they'll do it, but the old ones do it, and like, you can't, they're not even gonna say nothing about it. You can see this motherfucker tense up, getting hit with this bitch, and he's just steadily running that beat all the way to the fucking bottom. He's gonna get that whole stick done. It's crazy, dude. I just hate with people feeling like they're entitled, like you're not shit. You're not. I don't care if you're the boss. That salary. Boss is world worst, but I'm getting paid salary. I'm not working 70 hours. Just, bitch, you chose the salary life. It wasn't me. I'm getting paid hourly. Let's work that Sunday. Like, you chose that, not me. You chose that. And a lot of companies nowadays will give you the option, going hourly or salary. Well, salary works better in construction because in the wintertime, if it's slow, you're getting paid anyways. But then the summertime, whenever we got to make up for our hours that we lost in the winter, and we actually have time and light to do all that work, I'm staying. I don't, you stay or not. Shit, I'd rather you not be there bitching me out the whole time. Saying a bunch of dumb shit, to be honest. I mean, shit, leave me alone. I'll get the job done. I know how to do everything out there. If I can't, I'll tell you. I'll ask questions. I'll be the first person to ask a question.
That's my biggest deal. Is I've never been too proud or prideful or whatever else. If I don't know, I don't know. I don't want to claim to know because I'd rather not look dumb later in life and look dumb then to some people by asking a question. Although that's where the whole saying, you know, there ain't no such thing as a dumb question, obviously. But no, seriously, I will ask you a dumb question just so I don't want to assume. Assuming there's nothing but make an asshole.
I ain't
gonna
ask a bunch of dumb questions. There's something I'm just like, I'm really not sure about, but I know it's a dumb question, but it's just something that slipped my mind, and I'm just like,
and there's even those point in time.
You know, look, I know it's a dumb question.
Yep.
Can you please answer for
Yep.
me? And usually if you ask it like that and you don't do it all the time, like seriously, if you have to ask dumb questions all the time, then you need to find a different career that you don't have to think as much.
That's something that makes me cringe. People asking mindless questions. Like,
All
dude,
the
you
time,
obviously
though.
didn't think about it.
Yeah.
Like,
You didn't
it's
think
like
about
a
it all.
kid.
You'd rather somebody think about it for you. It's getting to where
That's
people are
that's
so
it.
lazy, they want somebody to think for them.
It's
Yep.
like a kid running the door saying, Mom, I can't find my shoes. He obviously didn't look.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You look with
But
your
the
eyes.
grown-ups are
not your
acting
mouth.
like that now. Just grown-ass men and women, too. I mean, basically, what I see that as is that there's a lot of people around work areas nowadays in every industry. Like, you're basically working with a bunch of 13-year-old preteen girls that are going through a meltdown. That's what you're working with every single day. Feels like they're queen bitch. Dudes and girls feel like they're queen bitch. And then will have a fucking meltdown if the first thing doesn't go their way. Well, look here, buddy. Not going to happen. If I'm your boss and I tell you to go do something and you say, man, I'm going home, don't come back. If you leave this job and after I told you to do something, you don't do it, you're not coming back. And if you show up the next morning, I don't give a fuck if you drove 3 hours. You're about to drive 3 hours back home pissed off because you just lost a job.
I feel pretty poor.
Being at work, if I'm paying you to be there, you are going to be there as long as I want you to. I'm not going to ask nothing crazy of you. And you know what? I'm not a big Sunday fan. I don't want 70 hours a week. 60-hour work week is what we should all work. And if not, 55. Work a half a day Saturday. But you need to be at work 6 days a week. Okay, people are like, oh, well, I'm on my feet all day. So? Like, your laborers are literally sprinting all day long. Out in the oil field, we all work out. I tell you what, there's a bunch of them prima donna people I'm talking about, but there's sons of bitches that from the time their feet hit the ground that morning, they don't walk nowhere. They are running or they're jogging, no matter where they're going for 10 hours. I'm talking about there's 70-year-old men out there literally that will outwork any 18-year-old you can find that is a hard-working 18-year-old. This is a 70-year-old man barely get up and down. This son of a bitch's feet hit the ground, he's doing something. He's sprinting.
I may work for my grandpa.
My point of view is nobody's going to show me up at work. There ain't nobody in this fucking world that will work harder than I will.
Not even the 7-year-old man?
If I see that 7-year-old man busting his ass, if I can't work as hard as he can, I'm going to try my fucking damnedest to. There's nobody at that job going to be better than me, and that's why I get the jobs I get, the good jobs. It's because I do that. I go the extra fucking mile.
Yeah.
I don't sit back and say, that's hard though, you know, like he's doing it, but he's good at it. Ain't nobody in this world better doing anything. I feel like I'm one of the people, like, I just haven't found the right situation yet to be able to do it. But I feel like anybody can be like Jeff Bezos that owns Amazon. Anybody be Elon Musk. If them two sons of bitches can do it, there ain't no reason I can't. Ain't no reason you can't.
Yeah.
No reason at all.
I work for my grandpa. And yes, I do run the shop. But if there's bullshit work to be done, say there's 3 people in the shop that day. If one person can be working, 2 people are going to be standing around, I'll do that job. I'll do that shit work and let them watch. Because if I'm tied up and I ask them to do it, they know I would do it. Like, it's not something I don't want to do.
But I tell you what, I mean, it's got to get done. I understand that. But those people like that, they need to be fired. Because they can't learn their lesson. Because if you teach them a lesson, you lost money. So you lost money in 2 different ways. Well, if they don't take heed to that lesson, then you just pay these guys to basically not learn a goddamn thing. You just paid them guys like not learning anything. You paid them to be there, and you overworked yourself.
It's not that they don't want to do it. It's that if someone
They know you will.
No, I'm not saying it in that sense.
Yeah,
I'm saying
in
good
that sense.
people.
Oh, good people.
Yeah, I'm just saying if there's got to be. I don't want to sit there and watch
I'm
you
the
work.
same way. Like if I'm somebody's boss, like I'll throw some skids. You know, like if it needs to be done, and then people are standing around, and sometimes it's like late in the evening, and I know it's going to affect me getting off work and everything. Like if I don't hurry up and like fuck them guys standing around, like if I don't hurry up and do this, like we're gonna be here all night, and I don't want to be here all night. I'll do it then. But at that point, those people didn't learn nothing. What they learned is if it gets late in the evening, they don't have to work because I'll do it.
I've had to do that, but those people don't last.
They don't at all. That's why I get rid of them. It'll happen a couple times, but if they don't take heed, or if I tell them, you know, hey, come over here, you're gone, buddy. Like, not everywhere gives you them 3 stripe policies. That's why, man, Cooper Tire Union, I love working for Cooper Tire wasn't bad at all. And their union really is good for their employees, but it's really bad for that company. Like, they tell you They straight up told us our first day in there, you will never be fired from this job. If you make it past your 90 days, you will never be fired. Unless, like, you get your arm cut off and it's your fault or you hurt somebody. Like, duh. But, I mean, like, as far as work-wise, they don't really give a shit how much you do because the union's got your back. But there's a lot of people in there that just don't do shit. But those people also aren't making much money, but they're taking up time and taking up a good job for a good person that's trying to get that job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they're hurting people that don't even work there
You're
that want
taking
to.
up space, yeah.
Yeah, you're taking up space. And you got to be a productive member of society.
I agree.
And if you're a piece of shit at work, you're not a productive member of society. You're not. You're a waste of money. You're wasting my air.
When you spend more time with your coworkers and employees than you do with your family,
Yeah.
your wives and kids.
Now, I work
that's
for
your
companies
life.
that
No, that sucks though, dude. I hate that, but I mean, it is true, and that shit you got to do. I guess like earning your stripes.
Well, it's
whatever
part
else.
of it.
Yeah,
That's
I
how
mean,
life
it
is
is.
right now.
And honestly, I mean, it's probably a good thing because I mean, I'm not at that point in time in my life, but there's probably a lot of people that doesn't need to be around their wife and their kids that long. Probably go crazy.
well, yeah, but that comes to like, why does their wife keep him around? Fire that son of a bitch. You know?
Yeah.
I guess you're putting enough food on the table. Might as well keep him around. He ain't never around anyway. He's working all the time. He might be an asshole. He works all the time and gives me money, so I'll keep him around. He'll come home and drink that whiskey though, and Sally, you know, I'll come outside that head.
You know what hurts me a lot worse than it hurts her when I beat the hell out of her.
We do not condone domestic violence. I have beat numerous people's asses for it.
Yeah, domestic violence.
We
is
think
super not
think
cool.
that joke is funny because it really was funny. Like I said, we do not find domestic violence funny.
Nope, none.
Multiple times I beat people's asses for putting their hands on a woman or talking to them just absolutely too bad. But back to self-entitlement. People feel like self-entitled in life. Like, to be honest, nowadays, we might as well go ahead and, like, it's hard to own shit nowadays, okay? But there's people that don't even try. Like, there's people that are my age. Like, I understand. I don't have a lot of things, you know? Like, I've pissed away a lot of money in my life. But I still attribute to want that, you know? But there's people that are completely content with being 30 years old, living with like roommates and you know, and
paycheck to
partying
paycheck.
every night of the week. Like,
Yeah.
I might go to the bar a couple nights a week, but I don't get hammered drunk multiple times a week. Like, how many? If you see me, that's one thing Tyler Welburn can tell I'm upset about something is if he sees me hammered drunk. Every single time he'll be like, "What's wrong with you?"
That's a good point. Yeah, that has happened more than once.
Like, I might get drunk. Like,
And I think it's only
I'll
happened,
get
like,
tipsy
maybe-
and be fun, but not like drunk.
Since I've known you since I was 16, 17, I've maybe only seen you hammered drunk
5
Six,
times. Yeah, I was about to say it's not a big number.
7 times maybe. Solid 5, maybe a 6 or 7. Swear to you though.
Like, I just have an outgoing personality. A lot of people will like mistake like me being drunk and wild, but if you notice, I'm not slurring. I'm
Now,
not
if I've seen you
stumbling
fucked
around.
up, I've seen you
that's
fucked
me.
up.
Like that's me. Like,
Yeah.
I can be that. All that shit that you do if you're hammered drunk. I don't have to get hammered drunk and make an ass of myself. I can do that shit sober.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I'm saying is like, you know, there's like seriously people that just don't give a shit. You know, like they don't want to own nothing. They're content with renting a house for the rest of their life. I'm not content with that.
I can't.
I tell you what, I might end up having to. You know, shit, I'm 27. I rent a house now. But what I'm saying is I don't want to. You know, I want to be one day where I own my own shit.
I think it
But
stresses
there's
me
people
out.
that just don't give a fuck.
Oh no, I think it stresses me out that I'm not that. 2 years ago, I didn't picture myself sitting where I'm sitting now. No, but guess what? I mean, I've learned a lot of hard life lessons.
Yeah, you do, but
the past 2
you
years.
come
You
away
know what
from
I mean?
it. Those people like just live
You're
that
still
life
a
on
different
purpose.
category. You come away from it, or you still aspire to do better.
Yeah, those people don't aspire to do better. That's like those are the people that like when they're 40 years old just turn to a meth head, start living on the streets. You know, that's like if you're 50 years old, and like you just give up so bad you go homeless. Like there's programs you can get in that you. No one in this world has to go homeless.
There's
get
no
that.
excuse.
I get the government will help you, and it's kind of fucked up they have that. But you know, like the government will help you enough to get on your feet.
Yeah.
You know, if
Or
it
a
like,
homeless shelter.
yeah, or a homeless shelter. There's so many options you have other than just living on the street, you know. There's so many more options. I get those people had a lot of bad things happen to them. They had to give up. But there's a lot of those people that didn't have a lot of bad things happen to them and gave up. They haven't gave a shit forever.
We
Yeah.
had shit given to them so
Yes.
long, and then that shit stopped, cut off.
Yep.
You lost.
Yeah, you know what? I've actually talked to a couple of homeless people in my life, like just throughout my, over an extended amount of time. Like I'm not talking about just out in front of Hooters and shit. I mean, like I've met homeless people like out in the world, and like and a lot of them come from money, and they just tell them like their parents disowned them. They didn't know what to do. They were fuck ups back then and didn't care. And then their parents just said, we can't do it no more, and just kicked them out, and then somebody was homeless. And these like 40-year-old men this shit just happened to. And they just chose the homeless life because fuck it. They didn't have nobody to take care of them. But I tell you what, just because you're 40 years old don't mean you can't learn. That ain't no different than being 18 years old and going out on your own like I did. I didn't have nobody to teach me how to pay bills and shit. I had to pay for my own trucks and stuff growing up. They don't teach. Yes, that probably helped me out a little bit, but everybody in this world kind of just on their own for the first couple of years, Like, yeah, you can get taught all you want to, but this is the real world. Like, there ain't time for error.
You getting thrown in the deep end.
Yes, like me, I tell you what, I had a lot of error, and guess what? I'm 27 years old living in fucking single line. You know what I mean? Like, there's no time for error. No time.
Ain't none of it gonna stop for you.
Because you can kill your life at any point in time and restart. One error, restart, boom. 30 years old, fuck up one time, go file bankruptcy, boom, restart. You back at 18 years old, buddy, and you 30. Me, I'm 27, boom, reset, pretty much back. I'm technically in life, I'm about 21. You know what I mean? Like about 3 years ago, it got reset, boom.
Yeah.
Because I screwed up. I was screwing up and made some bad decisions.
Yeah.
No, like getting bad off on drugs or nothing. That happened like whenever I was way younger. Like whenever I was 18, 19 years old and there was time for that to happen.
Yeah.
Yes, I went ahead and got that life out of the way. But I mean, I made errors as far as just kind of just being an all-around piece of shit, non-productive member of society, basically. Not like I said, not doing drugs or anything, just not being a productive member of society, doing what I wanted instead of what I needed to do. That's what people don't get. Nobody gives a damn what you want.
Ain't nobody gonna take care of you better than you.
Exactly. Nobody in this world. I don't care how much your parents love you. You can take care of yourself better than they ever could. You know you more than anybody in this world. I feel like I'm the baddest motherfucker alive. Now everybody feels like I'm a pretty good person, I feel like, but I feel like I'm a whole lot more than that. Because I know me.
You
hungry. It's like you always think you're the best. Everybody in this world, unless like if people been cut down, like depression and stuff. But I mean, like initially, like you think the best of yourself.
That's confidence, though. You need to have confidence in whatever it is you're doing, though. You know what I mean? But you need to have confidence, but you don't need to be cocky. There's two things.
I blur the lines a lot on that. I know, and I do it to be funny most of the time. I have caught myself a couple times where I was like, damn, that was kind of messed up. But I was kind of like I shouldn't have been arrogant. But most of the time, like if I say some cocky shit, like if you can't tell that I'm joking by my tone, then that just shows a lot about you.
Yeah.
That's like there was one time I was talking to a welder. It was one of our buddies' welders. Dude's actually from here too. And I was talking to him at a restaurant, and it was me and Matt. We were all sitting there, and that dude said something. He was like, "Man, I don't think I want to go with all you. I think I'm just going back to the apartment." And I said, "That's fine. Ain't nobody wants you to go anyway." This son gun just blew up. Got mad, wanted to fight me over it. I'm like, do you really think I don't even know you? Just be like, I didn't even fucking want you to go to the apartment. I didn't want you to go to the mall with us anyway. Fuck you. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like you can't tell I'm joking. Like you're so ornery. You really think that me, like I've been cool with you this whole time, thought I was the best person in the world this whole time. Then all of a sudden now I say one thing and your attitude just completely changed. Like that just shows you're kind of a shit person.
That's part of a certain kind of personality.
Yes.
That's just part of it. That kind of person.
A personality disorder, I feel like. That is a disorder.
That's a low confidence kind of thing. Like
that's not a low confidence thing.
Maybe bipolar.
That's just them wanting to be an asshole.
Yeah.
They're
it's narcissistic.
To me,
okay.
To me, narcissists are the people that were babied as a child and they could beg their parents for anything. Every narcissist I know, basically, they had everything handed to them, or some way they don't appreciate what they have. They don't.
Always got to have some shit going on.
Yeah, always have to. Always. I hate that. Like, I ain't your mom and daddy. I don't care. I'll bust your shit. I will fuck you up.
Didn't you get into a bar fight one night over because like an argument over soccer?
Not that guy right there. I asked him. He had a Barcelona shirt on. I didn't know who Barcelona was, to be honest. But I asked him who it was from. I was genuinely interested because, like, it's something I didn't know anything about. Like, I'm not one of the people that's going to be a dick about something I don't know about. I will not. Like, if I don't know about it, I'm not going to be an asshole to it. I'm not going to call it gay or stupid or anything like that.
Want to know the knowledge.
Gay as in the sense of being stupid. Like, if you, like that right there, if any gay person gets mad about that, like, you're just as ignorant as people we're talking about. All my gay friends know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They'll be the first to say you got a gay shirt on. Like,
yeah, no shit.
But anyway, it's like, that's what I'm saying, like, what was that?
The Barcelona shirt.
But that's what I'm getting at with the Barcelona shirt is that guy had that shirt. I was genuinely interested. Was not being a dick about it at all. But whenever he told me it was Barcelona and it was Spain, I was like, Qatar Airways is Middle Eastern. Why don't they sponsor them and not one of their poor countries' teams? You know, like, that's pretty messed up. Qatar Airways is really rich. That's like first class, like, coolness right there. That's like out of Dubai and stuff. You know,
Saudi Arabia.
So I was genuinely concerned at that point. I swapped it. I was not trying to make him mad at all. And the question did kind of just come out. But his first reaction is I feel like you're disrespecting my team. I said, no, I just wanted, I mean, seriously, like, I want to know the connection. Like, I know you might not know the answer, but now I'm genuinely interested in why Qatar Airways sponsors them and not one of their own countries, you know, because those are a lot of poor countries, too, you know, that run Qatar Airways. Like, Qatar Airways is a rich airline, and their countries can't afford to fly them, whatever. But anyways, he told me, he was like, I'm a Marine, I'll beat your ass if you're disrespecting my team. I'm like, I punched him.
What's the words to come back?
Yeah, but you know, like, don't do that. That right there let me know, like, the way his tone was, and you were watching the whole time. That guy was not going to let me out of that conversation without fighting me.
I didn't even jump in. I stood back and I giggled at the bar because Casey is literally rubbing this motherfucker's face across the carpet at the bar, going, how's that for your Marines now? You still like soccer? Talking shit to him, I'm rubbing his face across the carpet.
I do support the Marines,
like
but don't come at me like that.
But he's like 3 or 4 people on top of them trying to split them up, and I'm just like, I'm not helping. This is way too funny.
I
for me
ruined
to
my
ever jump
shirt and
into.
my jeans. They were so. Bobby thought I got stabbed.
Yeah, literally hit the guy just right, bust his nose. But dude, holy cow, it's
He
the
bled
funniest
like a
thing I've ever
stuck hog
seen.
out of his nose.
My girlfriend's standing there like, Tyler, you're not gonna do nothing to help, and I was like, no, he's good. He's got
Casey's
that one.
on top, rubbing his face against the corner. I think he got it, girl.
Like, I think this guy's gonna get up from this going, you know what? This is a mistake on my part.
But seriously,
probably an asshole.
as you're watching us, could you tell that guy was not going to let me out of that with a fight?
Oh yeah, and I seen it coming, but I mean, it wasn't nothing
Like,
I was gonna
I'm
say
not
or
going
do.
to
Like I
let you
said,
hit me first because you're being a dick. I'm not going to. Like, if you're being an asshole, you can clearly tell by somebody's actions and the way they're talking and how petty the argument is they started is. If it's extremely petty like that. Like, I wasn't disrespecting your team. I was disrespecting Qatar Airways, saying Qatar Airways kind of dicks for that. That's what I was saying. You know what I mean? I wasn't saying fuck Spain, fuck Barcelona, but his argument was so petty that you could tell right then, this guy's not letting me out of this without a fight. Like,
No.
And the reason is he's that type of person.
Yeah.
He's a shitty person.
But guess what? A week later, somebody's come in there and shook my hand. Remember that?
Yep, he did. He
Week later, come in,
apologized.
shook
Think
my
you
hand,
too.
apologized, said he was being an asshole and he shouldn't have done it. I tell you what, that's happened 3 times in my life, that specific situation, not over soccer, but people doing that. And every single time they come back to me
Not over
and I beat their ass, come back and apologize to me. I ain't no bad motherfucker or nothing. It just so happens. I feel like the person in the right usually wins the fight.
Casey Bowles
You know what I mean?
out here teaching life lessons.
No, I'm serious though. What?
I'm
Think about the
serious.
fights you've watched go down between friends and everybody else. Not all the time, but most of the time, the person in the right comes out on top. It really does. That person has a lot more to fight for than the person that's wrong. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, I've witnessed this. I've been saying this since I was young, man. Like, just paying attention to just stuff going around me. I'm really observant though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But most of the time, the majority of the time, the person that was in the right wins. Unless it's just some giant asshole, and then you tell that somebody to come talk to me.
Right.
I don't know. I might have to bail you out of that giant asshole like I did the last one.
Appreciate that. That guy called, see, this right here goes back just people being nonsensical assholes and self-entitled. Like, that guy thought he could say that for God knows what reason.
Well, what'd he say?
We were standing by the bar. We weren't standing by the bar. We were standing by the bathrooms. And this guy, like, if we're in a circle, and this guy walks by and he starts talking to us. Well, one of our gay buddies walked back behind, and he didn't even talk to us. Didn't speak to us or anything. Walked by and got a drink. And that guy looked back and said, "Ha, you look like you suck dick." Holy shit. Flipped my switch right then. I was like, that's uncalled for. I don't care if you like gay people or not. Like, there's certain things you can say and certain things you can't say. That's something you can't say.
Yeah.
So immediately I'm like, "Hey, buddy, that's my friend, and he does suck dick." And then, of course, he turned around and was like, "Yeah, I do, buddy." And that guy said, "Oh, y'all want to get physical." And took his hat off, and I popped this motherfucker. And he looked at me, and then Nick come out of nowhere and tackled him into the table and started beating his ass.
Oh, shit. He didn't know what to do.
That's one of, like, whenever I say it's under 5, I don't want to say the number 3 again because I feel like it's a common number for me to say, but I'm dead serious. Under 5 people out of the tons of times I hit people turned and looked at me. And that son of a bitch turned and looked at me, and I was like, "Oh, shit."
But the thing about it was,
I might even said it out loud. I don't know.
The only
I was
reason-
like, "Oh, man, this ain't good."
the only reason I jumped in on that was because you were swaying, Casey.
Oh, I
Like-
was hammered,
like you
man.
hit
I
him
was-
and then leaned on the table.
I punched him and thought Darrell and them got the guy, and I just leaned up against the table and I lit up a cigarette, was drinking my beer, and look over, and somebody's like, "That's Nick." I took off running and had a fucking Nick on him. I thought the damn bouncers just had him up on the table. He was fighting them. No, it was Nick. I didn't even know.
Well, that dude
I'm
was.
back chilling.
He didn't know what to do, man. I'd hit him and say, "Let go." Nope. Bop. Let go. Nope. Bop.
That was a big
He was
bastard
just
too.
in
He was
shock.
towering over everybody too. Like,
Yeah.
this guy was big. Man.
I was
he
looking
was
up at
young
him.
too. Like, I
When
mean,
I
he,
say
he
he-
might have been 22. He about 22 years old. Them big cock strong bastards. Man,
When I say he fought 3 other people that night, he fought 3 other people, and all 3 of them had their shit split
They
open
did.
on their face somewhere.
I went outside.
I'm kind of glad he didn't hit either one of y'all because, I mean, he beat 3 people's
Oh, I
asses,
know.
and it
I
didn't
didn't give
even
him
look
the
like
fucking
it didn't look like he even
that's
got
one
the
thing you
fight.
gotta do. That's what you gotta do with big motherfuckers. You just can't give them the chance.
That ain't no lie.
I pulled him in close, grabbed him by the back of the head, and was uppercutting him.
It was bad.
He was not about to
I
touch
walked
me.
outside whenever all that fight. Somebody just said there's a big fight going outside. It's about 15, 20 minutes later. You know, like they got been outside.
Oh,
There was
yeah.
about 10 people up on top of a hill by the damn motel, and they was all going at it. And
Well, that's
who
'cause
we're
his
talking
dumb
about,
ass-
too.
yeah, that's 'cause
and
his-
got his shit split, and then he beat up 2 other people. I was like, man.
Well, that's because he told him he had a pistol in his truck and went to act like he was reaching for one, and he didn't even have one. And when he said that he had a pistol, three dudes jumped on him at one time because they was like, "Oh fuck, that ain't finna happen."
He
up
whooped
here."
all 3 of them dudes. He didn't need the pistol. Even if he did have a pistol, I don't think he needed it. he was
Yeah,
a bad dude.
We missed all the other fights because me and Casey, we went up and hung out with you in the DJ booth.
Yeah.
Let that shit cool down.
Well, I know Sam. I remember Sam came running up to me.
No, I walked out there for a minute, and it was me and a girl, and we walked outside to go look. She said she wanted to watch. I didn't know who it was, and I seen that big bastard get up with no shirt on. I was like, "Oh shit, we gotta go back inside." I don't want him to see me over here. There's people running by. One of them the other one had a cut on his eye, and the other 2 looked like they had been beat up pretty good. Like they had red marks all over. I was like, "Oh yeah, get out of
this dude-
here."
when I say this dude hit somebody and they fell up against a food truck, and by the end of it, they were laying underneath it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they
Yeah,
slid
yeah.
down the side of it all the way down the concrete, fell on the curb, and landed up underneath the truck somehow. And I was just like, fuck.
The only I can recount one other time that happened. I mean, just one really vivid one that I can tell the whole story of. I go to Hanks and McKinney for the first time. I had to take my mom's car. My truck was broke down. I was depressed, and my cousin happened to call me, Kyle, the one that I went to Billy Bob's with that time. And I
Oh yeah, with the
when I
camper.
valeted the camper. Yeah,
Yeah.
Same guy. The first time I went to Hanks and McKinney, we go to watch Whiskey Myers. And it's a really good show. And about midway through it, man, this girl that was with us, she was drunk and out of line. But she was acting all kind of crazy, too. Walked up to me. We're not supposed to smoke in there, but Whiskey Myers done lit up the cigarette on stage, so it's kind of everybody started smoking to the point the bouncers gave up on telling people to stop. So we're chiefing away in this bar. This girl comes by, grabs my cigarette, throws it down, and says, "You can't smoke in here." Turns around, this other guy that I don't know. I remember he was a short little bastard like me. He's a lot more stocky. He had a red mustache and a red goatee. I'll never forget it. I will never forget that dude's face. I've never seen him since, but I know what he looks like, and I will run. But anyways, she says, "You can't smoke in here." And this dude doesn't hesitate, just turns around and pops her right in the mouth. Not
Good
drops her.
God.
And nobody did anything. He was going back at her, so I reached over and gave this dude everything I had. And he stopped and looked at me. And then the bouncer grabbed me from behind and turned me around, and I had my head ducked. I just got dude was going to reach around, like, peg me inside the head without me looking. So I, like, ducked down, and I used that bouncer still, and that bouncer snatched me up by, I don't know what happened to that dude, but that bouncer snatched me up by my neck, and he choked me. Like, I couldn't breathe. The other bouncer was on his back. He had to get in trouble for that. Like, the other bouncer, like, trying to tell him to stop. I wasn't fighting him or nothing. Like, as soon as he grabbed me, I just ducked down, and I stopped. And, like, the other bouncer's like, yeah, let him go. I was like, yeah, I'm leaving, man. I'm going out. And he grabbed me up by the neck. He was motherfucking choked me all the way to the door. And by the time we got when we're back by the stage at Hank's, like, it's a long way to that front door, buddy. A long way. If you're getting choked out, like, I was starting to black out. So by the time I got to the front door, I just started scraping everything off the tables. And I'm trying to holler, and I can't even holler. I'm trying to punch him. There's bouncers on his back trying to get him quit. And this dude threw me out the door by my neck. But anyways,
don't
that's
fight
a
at
big
Hanks and
bouncer,
McKinney.
man. That was a huge dude. That was one of them, like, Stone Cold Steve Austin looking sun guns. But I don't know why he flipped his switch like that on me. Shit, the dude deserved it. He just punched a girl. I saved him from a lawsuit, if anything. Like, that girl could have sued, like, easy. Like, I mean, that dude knocked the shit out of her. But if you sue that person for beating her up in the bar like that, the bar gets in trouble, too. So I don't get why they got on to me. Hell, I stopped immediately. I always do. You all know that about me.
Yeah.
I'll stop. By the way, all you people that get crazy, like whenever a bouncer jumps on, like, you know, like if you're in a fight and the bouncer grabs you, shut the fuck up and be still.
The bouncer's a good guy.
The bouncer's trying to help. But the person that's acting all crazy is the one going to get thrown out. That's when Poe get thrown on the head and get your ass beat by the bouncer. Good way to get beat up by them. You can't take all of them. I have never in my life, out of 7 years, 9 years, of just straight going to bar to bar to bar to bar to bar my entire life, which goes back to the human error, and then you don't have time for that. Anyways, out of all that right there, I have never in my life seen one person take on all the bouncers at a bar. Never. Don't do it. You're a fucking idiot if you try, and I will think you're an idiot, and so will all the bouncers. And whether or not you started it, you're the bad guy.
Yep.
Like, you obviously had too hot of a temper to even deal.
Right.
So get the fuck out, too. I don't do that. I shouldn't punch people anyways a lot of times, I feel like. I mean, I'm in the right, but I know it's not right. But at least I'm not acting ignorant. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as it happens, I'm done with it.
I've seen that happen. Witness first in hand. I was working security at the bar. Had to throw this guy out. He, as soon as, like, I threw him out the doors, he turned around and went to swing on me. And I mean, when I say, like, he's just so drunk it was that slow, all I had to do was, like, literally step out of the way, and he missed me. But he decided that he was going to take his shirt off and jump up and down and yell out in front of the bar. My manager came out there and he's like,
are their windows invincible to break?
No, I've busted one before.
Really? Man, I've seen some people hit them some guns
I busted one
hard
before,
trying
like,
to get back in there.
slam the door off the deal. This is back before I ever worked there. I got mad at Sam one night, and I slammed that door so hard, it popped off the rail, and it cracked the bottom of the door.
God. Damn, son. That's different. I mean the window itself.
It cracked the bottom of the
cracked
glass.
the bottom window. Okay, it cracked it, but I mean, like, shit, man.
That's why at one point in time, that glass all at the bottom had tape on it.
Oh, okay, that was your fault.
Yeah.
Such a bad person, man.
I know.
Golly.
I was an asshole.
No, but seriously, though, like,
Full of testosterone
I've seen some
and
people
whiskey.
go full on into them doors and hit them, like big people, like run their shoulder into it trying to get back in after they lock them out. And, dude, it's like some guns are just invincible. It just can't not come through it. I just recently saw a guy full on punch it. Boom, like, I mean, it was a hard punch, rattled all the way to the back. Well, with people in there, you could hear it at the bathroom. You could hear that sun gonna hit them windows. And door just kind of vibrated a little bit.
He bounced back off of it end over end.
Yeah.
Man.
That's on wild times. Wild times. But that's what I'm getting at with drunk assholes. You know, like, they will feel entitled. They get drunk and they feel like, okay, I need to beat somebody's ass. But they're going to find somebody they can for sure beat their ass. They're not going to go pick out, if they do go pick out the biggest dude, the normal size guys might not want to mess with them because seriously, like, there's no reason to go pick out the biggest dude. That guy's got a lot of confidence. But most of the time, the drunk guy's going to pick out a little guy that he thinks, hey, I bet I can beat this dude's ass and look like a badass. No, you ain't, buddy. You're about to make yourself look like really, really dumb.
And it's happened before.
And not just me. I got a bunch of little friends smaller than me that will piece you up.
Yep.
But it goes so far, like the self-entitlement goes so far across the board on everything. You know, like from work all the way just going to the bar to just sitting around the house. Like, There's a lot of men in this world that just feel entitled. They don't do anything. Like, I know plenty of wives, and the wives will be cool with it. They'll be the ones that mow. They do every single thing around that house, and the man just feels entitled to sit inside and drink beer. And then there's women that rely on men to cook, clean, mow the yard, fix her car whenever it's fucking broke, and all this other shit. And she thinks all she has to do is sit on the couch and take the kids to school in the morning. No. What you bringing to? If you ain't bringing nothing to the table, you're not entitled to shit.
Yeah.
And that's to do with everything. What do you bring to the table? Why are you here? Why am I dealing with this? And love or anything like that doesn't have anything to do with it. I tell you what, you learn to love somebody, you can learn to not love them. If it's really wrong, you will learn to not love them. And you know what? If you're putting yourself in that situation, because you're like, oh, well, I love that person, so I just can't let it go, then you're doing it to yourself, and I don't feel bad.
Yep.
I tell you what, ain't nobody in this world ever treated me bad and made me feel like I was in the wrong. And if they did, it wasn't long that I felt like that. That's a lot of problem with me and a lot of people. Is that you do me wrong, I'm going to let you know. I don't care how much I love you. That's why I ain't been able to keep a girl. If you don't bring nothing to the table, don't treat me bad. Now, I'll take a lot of shit from a girl that's bad. You know, like if she bring a lot to the table, I'll deal with some bullshit. And I've noticed that about myself. You know? If you bring more to the table, the more you bring to the table, the more bullshit I'll deal with. But if you don't bring nothing to the table, don't bring no bullshit my way. I ain't gonna deal with it. That's the same with friendships, Tyler. You bring a lot to the table. We've always had good times. I talk to you about anything. Nick, you the same way. I help you, you help me. Yeah, you help me, I help you, Tyler. Y'all, we bring stuff to the table for each other. Now, the friends we left behind didn't bring a goddamn thing to the table at all. Nothing to the table. But that same thing with girlfriends, husbands, friends, every single thing at work. What do you bring to the table? Why is your boss paying you? Now, if your boss is hollering at you every day, telling you to work harder, and you really are standing around all day, and you get mad at him saying, I tell you what, I'm going to tell you about 2 times, and then I'm getting mad. After I get mad, it's 50-50 whether I'm firing you right then, and if I don't, you better fucking catch heed. You better get some pep in your step. Because there's about 10 people lined up to have your spot. And that goes with everything in life, too. If you're a shit person as a spouse or as a significant other,
that goes for marriage.
There's a whole bunch of other people in line, buddy, a whole lot better. Yeah, she might pick an asshole next time. Eventually, you're going to get that one. You're going to be like, damn. I tell you what, a couple of my exes got people, and I was just like, damn, they are better than me, ain't they? I didn't have nothing to say.
Can't even be mad at him like
yeah,
shit.
No, you're just like, damn.
I'm happy
did
for
good
you.
On that one. I'm happy for you. Yeah, it's like, I'm not ever going to tell you that, but I am happy for you, and I see where you went with that.
Yep.
More of the thing is, you're not entitled to shit, and you need to quit acting like it. Everybody does. I'm bad. I've done it. You've done it. We've all done it. But there's a lot of people that take advantage of it and don't learn from it.
It's 2 categories. Whether you're a piece of shit and you're content with it, if you do some shitty stuff and you know it and you try to do better.
Exactly. We all fuck up, but it's the people that learn from their fuck ups. And you know
hungry
what? I might be a
hungry.
repeat fuck up, but every time I fuck up, I know I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know I did, and I feel bad for it.
Yeah, we're not just immune to it. It's not just normal shit.
But we're not entitled to anything. I'm not entitled to anything. You're not entitled to anything. You're not entitled to anything. At all.
Nope.
Nobody is entitled to shit.
That's why you gotta be thankful for every day and everything you got. Fuck. Now, you might wake up tomorrow
Yeah.
and guess what? Some butterfly effect, far away, way down the line, whatever else you want to call it. All I'm saying is, like, everything follows domino effect to everything else, but just like, you ain't guaranteed shit in tomorrow.
What if, like, you have a really good job, you know, and you worked yourself up and you got to be a boss and you felt like, oh, I ain't got to do shit now. And then you start getting behind on your boss shit and, like, your employees are going to hell. You got a bunch of screw-offs working for you, but you don't give a shit. You know, you know what, buddy? You got a lot of shit to pay for because you're a boss. You got the money. You going to buy a bunch of shit. What are you going to do if your boss is like, hey, buddy, I'm tired of you not bringing nothing to the table. Boom! Grabs one of your employees you thought was a piece of shit, puts him in your place, and now you just out the money. Now you got all this shit to pay for and you ain't got a home. All over you just being a dick. Like, literally. Like, the only reason you lose everything, because I tell you what, there's a lot of people that I've seen go through bankruptcy that shouldn't have, unfortunate circumstances, but a lot of people did it. just being a dick. They let their pride and them being an asshole and always thinking they're right get in the way of their whole life.
I'll be the first one to admit when I'm wrong. I'm wrong a lot of times throughout the day.
You're pretty good about it. Like, you'll think about it. Usually I have to explain it first, but unless I explain it, you don't know you're wrong. You'll like go blue in the face telling me you're right until I'm like, no, Tyler, that's where you're wrong. You'll be like, oh, okay.
I mean, but I will,
but
though,
at least
you know?
notice, you know what I mean?
We learn every day.
But I tell you what, not everybody in life cares about you as much as I do, and we'll explain that. You just wrong, and that's all they're going to tell you.
Yep.
And if you think you're right and you're not right, it just hurts you a lot worse that you was just like, I'm right, I don't give a fuck what he says.
I got those people in my life.
No, but I do the same thing. I do the same thing is what I'm saying. Like, I'm using you as an example.
No, I know.
But I do the same thing, and we all do. It's just there's a lot of people that are a lot worse about it that do it all the time. And that's what a narcissist is. They always think they're right, and they'll make you feel like a piece of shit.
They'll ignore key points to your argument. Straight up ignore them like they don't exist so they can be right in their head.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with being wrong.
Yes, there is. I fucking hate it.
Well, I'm not saying that. There's nothing wrong with being wrong, admitting your wrongs, and fixing them. You know what I'm saying? If you can't take negative criticism, then you don't need to hear the positive criticism.
Especially if you're just ignorant to something.
Yeah.
You just got smarter in that situation.
Or if you're telling me some shit that's obvious. I tell you what, key thing is on this podcast, we've had a lot of constructive criticism from people, and a lot of it's been good. But, like, there's one person that said that we didn't get our information right, and I sent them the video that we got it from of the person saying it about themselves.
Yeah.
And they didn't say nothing bad. Like, they tried to call us out on some bullshit just because they wanted a petty argument. And then I had somebody sit here and tell me, oh, well, man, you fuck up on your editing a lot. This is what you need to do. And I kept telling them, I was like, yeah, I know, buddy. It's a learning experience for both of them. It's like, obviously.
Right.
You think I haven't listened to this 100 times?
Right.
Like, I'm so fed up with hearing our voices that... holy shit, I don't even want to talk anymore. I don't even want to hear my own voice in my head because I hear it so many times just going through this. Like, I know what went wrong. But we're all learning. But that's obvious. I feel like you shouldn't point that out because obviously we know shit like that. But that goes in anything. Like, if I'm at work and, like, my ditch gets a little crooked way down there, I ain't saying crooked, but I mean, like, you can see a little spot. Like, the pipe's going to lay and everything. If you come up and point that out and you think I can't see that this straight line ditch has a little bit of a bump in it right there, like, you're ignorant. And you're assuming I'm ignorant, and I don't like to be assumed I'm ignorant. You know what I mean?
I hate that. I hate
like,
being
that's
assumed
pretty
I'm
much
ignorant.
like, I'll ask you a lot of times, like, you'll hear me tell people, like, somebody said something stupid like that, I'll be like, you calling me retarded? I'm straight up. Like, I just be like, like, they think it's a joke, and I'm like, no, seriously, like, you just pointed out something completely ignorant. Pretty much just called me dumb to my face by pointing it out like I didn't notice or something.
Yeah.
And I hate that too.
But there's also those people out there in life that'll point out what you did wrong, but also try to recommend to you a better way or the way that they do it, which most of the times or some of the times it is a better way or the right way to do something. You know what I mean? There are those people that are being, I guess you could say, they're negative criticizing, but in a positive kind of way. No,
that's not
I know
what
what
I'm
you're
talking
saying.
about. I'm
or whatever.
saying like I mean. Like the crooking thing. Obviously, this is my job. I've been doing it 9 years. I know that little crook ain't supposed to be down there.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not talking about like somebody found a more convenient way to do something. That's like me digging bell holes. My boss had been out of prison 6 months on the job I was on that had no clue what we was doing, thought he found out a new way to dig bell holes and I had to dig it his way. Bitch, we've been digging them this way for 1,000 years. For not 1,000 years. We've been digging them this way.
We've been digging them this way for 35,000 years now.
We've been on these hoes for this long. But anyway, what I'm saying is like, for real though, we've been doing this 50 years this way, not because it's inefficient. If you think you found something new on something that old, like, you have incredibly too much confidence, buddy.
And you got problems.
Yeah. Unless you found some new actual technology or something, because that gets invented every day. But as far as, like, something that is done a certain way with these tools, you ain't found out nothing. And if you have, you bad son gun. But I tell you what, if you're going to be doing this job 6 months and you never done what we doing in that 6 months, you don't know shit, buddy.
You
Stay
ain't
out
no
of my
Elon
way.
Musk, most likely.
Yeah. Like, he felt like he was self-entitled, like he was such a bad dude that he had been out of prison for 6 months, and some reason they gave him a job being our boss. Holy shit. So
It just goes to show you how the oil
imagine
field works.
Just imagine the chaos that ensued on that whole job.
I don't know. Honestly, I can't just say just the oil field. That's how a lot of things in life work.
No. I'm using the oil field because I've worked in a lot of industries, but not long enough. Like, I've always went back to the oil field because that's my home, man. That's what I am. I'm a fucking pipeliner.
I know.
I hate them. I hate it. I hate most of the people I work with. Most of them. There's a lot of good people. I've met some of my best friends, and I've met people on one job 5-6 years ago, and then some bitches still call me every week. Ain't seen them since in person.
Right.
Like, you just meet good people like that.
Yeah.
But then again, you come across the scum of the earth.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, why? The oil field wastes so much money. You know what? You think BP and all them have a lot of money? Well, I tell you what, if they would pay us normal wages and hire locals, holy shit, would their profit just go through the roof.
Yeah, they give a lot of idiots a lot of money.
Like, there's people that literally, like, a boss's son or a cousin or just, it's the best friends. They hired them on to be your boss. And I ain't never even done what you done. And this son guns over the whole thing. Tells
that
you
goes
what
a lot
to
in
do.
life, though. It goes to show you, like, underqualified people just knowing who they know and got where they got.
Exactly. I tell you what, it ain't about what you know, it's about who you know. But knowing something helps a whole bunch.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Knowledge ain't ever killed nobody, but ignorance has.
It goes a long way.
I can agree with that.
And that's a saying right there.
That
I
is
made that up myself.
words to live by.
So I made that up myself. That's a good one.
Is it?
We're
You sure
done.
you made that
That's
up by
good.
yourself?
Well, guys, this is the end of the show where one of us probably passed out. But you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, and iTunes. The main thing we ask is that you leave a review on whatever platform it is that you listen to us on. It helps get our name out there. We have new episodes every Monday at 6 a.m. And as always, we hope you had just as much fun as we did. Signing off is Casey Bowles, the last man standing, right here on the Texas Meltdown.